What's up, guys? Back in today with more Liar Game. This time with, I believe, episode 20. Yep. Which I'm looking forward to. I don't think we'll be quite getting into the resurrection game if there is one, which we presume there is. For round 3. But I think we will still be covering a few of the events of this last arc, and yeah, it was a brilliant explanation as to the betrayals and such. I did. I think it was really good in a way that you could kind of ascertain some of the events and like the betrayals still going on, and like you could guess a few things, but the way they were done and the layers to them, I think, were really unexpected. So it was a case that it wasn't out of like the realms of possibility, and we even kind of theorized some of the things that did actually occur. But there was just like different ways and slight differences and deviations, and really interesting little parts like um yeah, it was just a really awesome kind of explanation of things. Yoki is still very upbeat and weird, honestly, about this whole situation. I'd expect him to feel a little bit more defeated, but he's seemingly somewhat still like kind of happy about it all. So that is very intriguing. But yeah, we'll get right into the episode. Again, I'm expecting to kind of cover this explanation a bit more, and maybe some like in between. But yeah, does he know who they are then? Yeah. Why are you talking shit? You lost, bro. He's a day said with such conviction. I mean, I always thought this shot in the opening looks very like when he's like looking away. I don't know what that means exactly, but it's always stuck out to me. The last shot in this opening. I don't know if he's like he clearly knows more about this organization than we do, but I'm sure he still doesn't know an awful lot. I was almost thinking he might kind of help us out. We're taking him down. That might be like a big challenge we can get on together. Don't know if I'd want to work with this guy though. His methods are pretty horrid. Probably better off not working with him. Smart as he is. Sometimes that's the case in like football and sport. Sometimes there's some really good players, but they're not the best teammates, and you'd rather worse players be better teammates, if that makes sense. I'd rather play personally. I'd rather play with players that are worse if it means that they play together more and don't just like go solo and like yeah. Yeah, like this shot where he's like looking at the logo. Provocation. Oh, fuck all in there. Whoa, 1 billion. Oh shit! So he didn't use. So you just assumed that it would work the same way as before, because everyone was given someone else's card that would all get spread around. He was putting that into his own account. the whole time. These fucking greedy bastard. I guess that's a really good insurance policy for him, though. I guess. The fuck you? I can't believe we didn't even think of that. This motherfucker. He was just funneling money into his account the whole last day. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, it's a smart thing to do, isn't it? When you're in the position to do so, why not? Bloody hell, he got a lot of money in there. Ah, fucking hell. Ah, wow. This does not feel good, does it? Laughing at him. He didn't take control. I mean, he did. He was in control. To be fair, kind of talking nonsense here, but yeah, that is true as well. I mean, as I said, like he was in control because he had control of everybody's cars. Like he was in enough control to pull off this. But yeah, I guess you could say it was a cheap trick. Um, but he had to gain the control enough to be able to take advantage of this. So she's, I mean, she's doing a very good job at rattling him here. I'm not sure why she wants to, but I guess we just take the piss out of him a little bit because we can. Um, so yeah, I don't think it's entirely true what she's saying here, but yeah, somewhat true, I guess. He did lose control of things. Like he did get fucked over, but I did not see this coming. He took precautions to actually still win. So yeah, this doesn't feel fantastic, does it? It kind of feels like we lost. Yeah, we kind of got one over on him and his grasp of things, but we didn't really get anywhere. Actually, did we? Fortunately. I guess you both done a bad job in that case then, didn't you? These guys are cracking up. These guys are fucking cracking up, take the piss out of you, Yokoya. Does some kind of bluff. He ain't gonna drop out. He's here of his own volition. He wants to be here. He doesn't need money. Is he though? I don't feel like that. I feel like he got one over on us at the end, unfortunately. And this guy would apologise to. Oh no, the poor mice. He definitely feels beaten, doesn't he? Chuck this mice. Chucked his controller away. Poor little mice. Yeah, that was a good job from you now. But I'm feeling the same as him. He doesn't look all that great, does he? So yeah, as I said, we both kind of lost in a way. I know it was. So you done a pretty good job acting that time, I would say. Yeah. Again, she did like I knew that was the case, but she done a pretty good job of acting compared to previous attempts, and that's guaranteed because we know he wants to be here. He doesn't have to be here like everyone else. He wants to be here. She has, seeing how far she's come just in the span of this game. I'm right along with you, bro. You got one over on you. You got one over on him. He got one over on you. That's what we have to figure out. Oh, did he? Oh, we didn't do anything about it. Oh, we couldn't do anything about it. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, that was definitely the case, but the intention was 100% different. I think it's all about the intention behind it rather than the act itself in this case. Not in every case, but in this case. But yeah, quite the interaction we're having there. I like that. Again, I really like this outcome as well. Like the outcome of where it wasn't just like we win everything, perfect like ending. No, it was actually like yeah, he actually kind of won Yokoya. He may not feel like he won, but we certainly don't feel like we won either. It was a bit more of a moral victory than a actual victory. Like yeah, we kind of did what we achieved to do, but we had to compromise a lot because our opponent was that strong. We had to compromise on stuff like he just mentioned there. So as I said, it doesn't really feel like either side won. Not, it doesn't really awfully feel like either side lost as well, but like just how good of a battle it is. Again, I really like the outcome of this actually. And I said this last week, but that whatever like the next game is after the revival round. I mean, unfortunately, it probably doesn't seem like we're going to get it adapted because the ratings for this show are really low, which is a massive fucking shame. I think because I've really enjoyed it. Um, but if we ever do, that next game is going absolutely crazy, next level kind of head fuck. Like I was struggling a bit with the details in this one. Might not be more a more complex game or anything, but like yeah, it's gonna go crazy. Now that they're like accustomed to each other's tactics a bit. Oh, now. So that is guaranteed. So there is a loser survival. Okay. Why is the ending playing? Oh, you didn't even need to tell us. You didn't even need to tell us. I'm pretty sure that would have happened anyway. But yeah, why the hell's the ending playing? Who? Oh, this guy. Nice. I liked him. He's going to join our cause. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really cool. I liked him. These redhead punk guys are some of the nicest characters in the show, aren't they? Fukunaga, nice, nice. Just can't get enough, can you? Nakama. Would you go that far? We comrades, are we? Got to make some money, baby. Fair enough. They got used to it at this point, Fukunaga. Don't worry. Oh, no doubt now, no doubt. I'm kind of scared that he's kicking about still, but yeah, it would be a shame if we lost him. Making a little team here, aren't we? Like a little team here. So what's this last 10 minutes going to be about then? That guy in her apartment. Yeah. Why? What I knew. Why were you? Why are you here? Are you just sitting there? How long have you been there? I love this guy. This guy is such a sleaze bag in like a good way. I don't know how to describe it. Like a good sleaze bag. You don't want the lowdown on the next game, don't you? Nice. At all. Might as well have not even said anything. He gave us a bit of information on the game, don't get me wrong, but it worth fucking sitting there. This creep. How long was he in her house? It pissed me off not knowing. What are you doing in my fucking house? Do you have a shit in the toilet? Like, what are you doing? Sniffing some pants or something? Creep. You're getting stronger, don't you worry. So here we are. Back in this outfit. Okay. I think I mentioned this before, but I don't really play too much poker nowadays. But I did used to actually. I wouldn't say pretend to be a woman, but I would outwardly, like, yeah, I would be like a woman on the surface of things, and it did. Unfortunately, it was a bit easier to manipulate people in that regard. Um, but it's just how people see things, unfortunately. But yeah, I can understand why he's doing this. I mean, this came out during the mid 2000s, so it's not awfully old or old fashioned. But that's the thing, you do run into like old men and such playing poker and so on that probably don't have quite as much respect for women as they do men in that kind of sphere. So, as I said, I've tried with a bunch of things. Women, black women, white women, black men, white men. The worst one was Asian men. I didn't used to be very successful as kind of throat showing as like an Asian man. That was probably the worst one, and that makes a lot of sense. Um, but yeah, the white woman was probably the most successful kind of representation. I wouldn't say by a massively significant margin, to be honest with you, but I was more successful. Some kind of old school. A test of courage or something. It's like a school library. Okay, in pretty decent condition, to be fair. Still books here. Looks a bit crusty though, doesn't it? Looks a bit Silent Hill esque. So these are our opponents. Solario. What a fancy name. Oh, we'll be playing some poker. 150. 3 minutes. Wow. I mean, the best possible outcome here is obviously for you to win all 3 games and take all 150 mil from your opponent. So you would have 900 mil. Then 300 is. So wait, am I counting? No, I'm counting that wrong, aren't I? Sorry. So there's 150 mil each. So yeah, it's 900. There's a total of 900 if you were to take every penny. You could have up to 900, and then 300 of that gets taken back from the office. So you stand to win 600 mil here, which is a lot of money. And obviously the losing team would be in a lot of debt. But I'm just thinking, is there a possible way that you can win by just like winning one game, if that makes sense? Obviously, you lose the revival game, but if you were to win just one game, take that 150, you'd then have 300. I guess there's a way for like someone to do all right here. I guess I don't know. We'll see more about it. I'm just thinking about like the end results here. I won't bother spending time. I've only got a couple minutes. But yeah, I'm wondering what the games are. Do you reckon they're going to be like poker or roulette or something, maybe? Or like card games or something? So I think we get gathered from there is they can see into the game, but there's no outside interaction unless they call for a timeout. Oh, really? That's interesting. So if you already win the first 2 games, you don't even. What happens to the money in that case? What happens to? Wow, that's really interesting. I guess from one perspective, you kind of want to be on the losing team, but going last, and to have the first 2 people lose, because then you get 50 million. But they're probably in more debt than that already, so I doubt you'd actually want to be in that position. I don't know. Interesting, isn't it? So it's best of 3. So yeah, you probably don't want to. Like that would be a good outcome if you weren't in debt prior to this game. If this was just like a normal game, you stand to just kind of make 50 million if you were going last, but that wouldn't help you with your massive debt. So that's not actually like an optimal scenario. Now you guys are in light debt compared to us. I mean, like 400 mil. Sell your organs, make you slaves. What will I'm actually really interested. What will they do? Will they just like sell their body parts? I'm really intrigued to see what they'd actually do to these people. Maybe it's actually more scary not knowing though. Those horror things you don't see when you don't see the monster. It's actually scarier. I did just kind of miss that. But yeah, as I said, in horror movies, a lot of the time when you don't see the monster, it's actually quite a bit scarier. The actual like reveal, like the reveal's an awesome moment and such, but like just the kind of yeah, maybe actually better we don't know what happens to these people than seeing what happens to them. So yeah, here's their money, their chips. So that's interesting. So could we go into a game? So, for example, we're all given 150. Could you give your 150 to the player that plays first and have them at a big advantage, so they go into the game with 300 million versus the other person that has 150, and then they're in the kind of driving seat because they've got double your stack. Again, in poker, I actually kind of prefer starting out with a lower stack. Um, it means you play less hands and get involved in less hands. But I actually quite like being like initially, if I was to like enter like a game, I'd actually quite like to be someone. Not I wouldn't like to be the lowest stack, but maybe like third, fourth lowest stack if there's like 10 people, if there's like 10 seats. Um, it puts you in in an interesting position. I feel like where a lot of the time they like it's just quite an interesting like psychological position to be in. I think from the perspective of the opponents because I think they take you maybe a little bit more seriously. I don't know. Um, I feel like you probably get called on bluffs a bit. Like there's again there's like levels to like where you're at. If you've got more chips versus if you've got less chips, there's psychological advantages and disadvantages you can take advantage of. That's what I'm trying to say there. So it seems like that's going to be in play here. So the spearhead's the first player. Um, Say the spearhead player wins 100 million in the first game. So they play the first game, 150 mil versus 150 mil. They win 100 mil, so they've got 250. How is this possible that they even lose 400 million in total because they've only got 150 million to gamble with? I don't really understand that. Um, that like the collective money, so they can do what I just said. They actually combine their winnings, so the player that went first then gives their money to the. That's the only way this could happen. This is literally not a possibility if it is just structured 150 million matches. This is not a possible outcome. But yeah, let's just say they lose their money. This would this would put them in. I really don't get this explanation. Am I being stupid here? So Spearhead start with 150. They've now got 250. So overall, the team's got 550 as a team. But then they lose 400. They'd still have 150. But then they've got to collect 50 mil, 100 mil. That puts them in 150 million debt. Where are these numbers coming from? Am I being stupid here? What are these numbers? Am I being really stupid here? Are you allowed to go into debt with these bets? Surely not. Am I being stupid? I feel like these numbers don't add up. So everybody's given 150 million. How can you possibly like? And he wins 100 million. So now he's got 250. These numbers don't add up. Sure, like, am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. These numbers don't add up. How could you ever be in 300 million debt? I, I don't fucking know. Go with it, whatever. I can't wrap my head around this. But yeah, I mean, I guess the point is even if you win your round, it's a combined debt. So the debt is split between all of the members, I guess. So the outcome I was speaking about a minute ago with you going last and winning that final game, which is not a possibility anyway because it's best out of three, so that third game wouldn't happen. But let's just say it did happen. You wouldn't actually win that 50 million. It would then go against the debt, and you would pay your portion of that. Yeah. Okay. So I understand the point they're making there, but the numbers just don't add up. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So clearly, you want your strongest players playing first. Well, that's another intriguing aspect, isn't it? I don't even know what game we're playing. Again, you like logistically, you want your strongest players first because you might not get a chance to use them if you put them last. But in football, when you have a penalty shootout, where you have 1 to 5 people taking a penalty, and the other team has 1 to 5 people, you either want your strongest penalty taker going first or last in that. So yeah, this is quite intriguing. Do we want our strongest player last, first? I mean, I guess the best thing to do would put them in between to have them go second, because then that guarantees they play a game. But I don't know. I mean, if they go first, it guarantees they play a game, but that would also mean you're stronger. Like, I don't know. What's the strategy for this? What would your guys' strategy for this be? Would it be put Akiyama first, last, second? Where would now go? I mean, I think a lot of people, if you were to do a poll, it would probably go Akiyama, Fukunaga, now. You go in order of like smarts. I feel like what's going to happen is it's going to be now Akiyama, Fukunaga. I feel like that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. Let's just see actually explain it here. So Fukunaga's first, then Akiyama, and then now. So okay. So I thought what I thought was wrong, but this is actually more in line with the what I said most people would pick. Then it's the logical choice. Make sure your smartest players actually play. You can't say stuff like that. We'll give you a hug. Bless you. 24 chamber Russian roulette. The fuck? I've never heard of that one. Yeah, obviously I heard of Russian roulette, but 24 chamber. So 4 guns. Spearhead match. Oh shit. I mean, clearly not actual Russian roulette. Do you know what? It would be really, really quite fun if it was actually genuine Russian roulette and they died. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we're quite gonna go that far. 24 chamber. 24 chambers of death. We've got some Wu Tang bloody Russian roulette going on right here. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Really good episode. Really good episode. I mean, I love this show. This show is awesome. I know it's cheesy, but it's so cheesy in a good way. So yeah, apologies if any of you guys can explain the numbers behind what the explanation was a minute ago. Please do help me, because I mean, surely it's accurate to something, because they wouldn't just put these nonsense numbers out there. I got the point of the point they're trying to get across, but those numbers were just nonsense, right? Am I going crazy? So yeah, we got 24 chamber Russian lets. So we got four guns, 4 revolvers with 6 round that could have 6 rounds, but yeah, interesting. How many bullets are going to be in each of those? I mean, Russian roulette is very much a big chance based game, right? There's not too much. Well, I say that there's probably ways you can manipulate your chances. Russian roulette, not many that I've thought of. It's not a game I play, obviously. But it seems like a massive game of chance. But there's a massive game of chance in a lot of games, as I said, like poker and such. There's a lot of chance and variance in there. But yeah, again, fantastic episode. Really love the end of this arc. I think they've done an awesome job actually. Kind of, this is going to sound weird, but making it not feel satisfying made it quite satisfying. I feel like making it not like this big happy ending where we just won and everything was perfect. I feel like that was like a really good choice. It again, it kind of felt like we lost. It felt like a loss. It felt like a loss for everybody. Um, in regards to the outcome, but it did feel like a win for some characters, like the redhead guy. I'm really glad that he's going to be back. Um, like some people won out here. I mean, obviously Yokoya kind of won out here by himself, but he did not feel like he won. I just really like what they've done with the wrap up here. I thought that was awesome. And then did not see that coming. Although maybe we should have, considering he took the whole play day to himself. Yeah, even Akiyama felt defeated. So good job now for sticking up for us, and another little bluff from her, which was really good to see, and it wasn't awfully acted. uh, yeah, this game seems like it's going to be really interesting. Got a bit of Russian roulette to start things off, so I can't wait to get into it. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 21.